Meta recently invested $14.3 billion to acquire nearly half of Scale AI shares. You might not have heard of this company, but its clients include Google, OpenAI, Microsoft, Amazon, and Nvidia, some of the biggest players in AI today. Meta is not just investing money, but also bringing in the company's founder and some of the team to start a new AI lab within its own company. On the surface, this deal seems like a resource consolidation in the AI world, but behind the scenes, it's all about sensitive data, competitors, and the labor conditions of hundreds of thousands of data annotators. In this episode, we'll talk about why Meta chose this acquisition approach, what Scale AI does, and why some people say it's essentially a sweatshop in the age of AI. Welcome to InnovaLeader with your host, Anshin Chang. This is your go-to destination for insightful discussions on leadership and innovation. Let's dive into today's topic. Recently, Meta has made a significant investment of $14.3 billion to acquire 49% of Scale AI shares. This isn't a full merger, but it's still an important deal. As a result, Scale AI's valuation has skyrocketed from $13.8 billion last year to $29 billion today. So today, we're going to discuss this deal, why Meta chose not to pursue a traditional acquisition, why Mark Zuckerberg would want to pursue this kind of investment, what Scale AI does, and some of the controversies it has faced in the recent years. First off, this deal is really interesting. Meta acquired 49% of Scale AI shares, but it's not a full merger. One of the stipulations of the deal is that the founder of Scale AI, Alexandr Wang, will lead a team of 50 people from Scale AI to join Meta. Meta will establish a new AI lab called the Superintelligence Lab to house them. You can infer from this that Mark Zuckerberg's real goal is to acquire the talent. So why didn't he just go for a traditional acquisition? There are a couple of reasons. First, Meta is currently under antitrust scrutiny, where Meta is facing legal challenges regarding its past acquisitions of Instagram and WhatsApp. So to avoid further antitrust concerns, this deal avoids triggering additional scrutiny. Second, $14.3 billion is a hefty sum. If Meta were to acquire the whole company, they would have to spend double that amount, which could be too expensive. So I think these two reasons, avoiding antitrust issues and reducing costs, play a big role in why they chose this non-traditional acquisition approach. Essentially, Meta is buying the core team and looking to deepen its collaboration with Scale AI's business. Scale AI primarily serves companies that are developing large foundation models, LLMs, like Google, OpenAI, Microsoft, Amazon, and Nvidia. These companies need to train models, and Scale AI's core business is data cleaning and data labeling, which we'll explore in more detail later. So, even if most people haven't heard of Scale AI, they're a major player behind the scenes, helping create high-quality models. However, after the acquisition, Scale AI will face a challenge. The first issue is that their strongest talents are leaving. This is actually a bit paradoxical because this acquisition seems better for Meta, but not so much for the remaining team at Scale AI. Of course, the company and the founder will insist that Scale AI still has a lot of growth potential, but I personally think this deal signals that the founder, Alexandr Wang, is likely preparing to leave the company. He'll stay on board, but his main focus will shift to leading Meta's new AI lab. So Scale AI will lose its strongest team members, and another concern is that Meta, now holding 49% of the shares, some of Scale AI's clients like OpenAI or Google might worry about the potential exposure of sensitive data or technology to Meta. So in the future, some of these large companies might choose to bring data labeling and cleaning back in-house rather than relying on Scale AI. This could lead to a situation where, instead of outsourcing a majority of the work to Scale AI, companies like Google, OpenAI, Microsoft might start doing more of this in-house and reduce their reliance on Scale AI. Now, why did Meta want to pursue this deal? I personally believe that the most important reason is that Mark Zuckerberg is worried. Meta has fallen behind in the AI race. Just a few weeks ago, Google's I/O event showed that their AI models are really strong, and even Apple's approach, while not directly involved with AI, focused on improving UI and features. Mark Zuckerberg, on the other hand, wants Meta to compete in the AI field with the giants. Their AI models are far behind OpenAI and Google's, and even their Llama 4 release in April didn't perform well. Initially, it seemed promising, but it was quickly revealed that there were issues with the results, even raising suspicions of falsified data. Their flagship model, Behemoth, has yet to be released, and even the beta version hasn't performed as expected. This delay suggests that Meta is concerned about the model's performance and doesn't feel confident enough to release it. So because of these setbacks, Mark Zuckerberg has been actively searching for top-tier AI talent, even personally acting as a headhunter to bring the best people into Meta. He's hoping to have the best AI products by the end of the year. This reflects his ambition, but it also shows that Meta realizes its old approach isn't working anymore. In the past, Meta mostly built everything in-house, from the mobile era to now. Their mentality was, if we hire the smartest people, we can add new features to the companies without doing too many acquisitions. In contrast, most of their past acquisitions, like Instagram and WhatsApp, were about bringing in products and user bases. This time, the goal is to acquire talent, specifically the strongest AI researchers. They're essentially acquiring Alexandr Wang and his core team, not just for their products, but to strengthen their AI capabilities. This is actually Meta's first scale acquisition focused on AI talent. Looking ahead, AI engineers are going to be crucial to Meta's future success. While many software engineering roles are being replaced by AI engineers themselves are still in high demand. The salary for AI engineers at Meta can reach as much as $2 million a year. But even with these high salaries, talented engineers are leaving for companies like OpenAI and Anthropic. Even though the demand for software engineers overall is declining, AI engineers are in a unique position. The competition is fierce, and not only with these American companies, but with Chinese firms as well. AI talent is a hot commodity, and in the foreseeable future, companies like Meta won't be cutting back on their hiring efforts, but will continue to compete for the best and brightest minds. Let's shift gears and talk a bit more about what Scale AI actually does. As mentioned earlier, Scale AI is somewhat of an invisible champion. Their core business revolves around data cleaning and labeling, which is critical for training AI models. They help ensure that the raw data used in these models is of high quality because, as the saying goes, garbage in, garbage out. If the input data is bad, then the model's output will be just as poor. They do two main things. Data cleaning. This involves removing erroneous, duplicate, or irrelevant data, as well as standardizing formats. When you collect raw data, it can be messy, and Scale AI's job is to clean it up and keep only the valuable data. 2 is data labeling. Many data sets, especially images, text, or videos, need to be labeled before they can be used to train models. For example, if you're training a self-driving car model, you need to label images and pedestrians, vehicles, traffic signs, etc. These tasks require a lot of human effort, and Scale AI excels in providing this service. Scale AI has found a gap in the market because data labeling is extremely labor-intensive, yet crucial for training AI. This is a bit ironic because we often talk about AI replacing human jobs, but data labeling is still very much a manual job. Scale AI realized that while AI can do many things, it can't yet handle the massive scale of data labeling needed to train these models effectively. Scale AI was founded in 2016 by Alexandr Wang, who dropped out of MIT after his first year to start a company. He realized that while AI needed tons of data to train, no one was focusing on the labor-intensive task of data labeling. So instead of trying to replace humans, he decided to focus on building a massive workforce to improve the quality of labeled data. As this turns out, this strategy has been incredibly successful. Scale AI is not a leader in this niche, and even though they initially served self-driving car companies like Waymo and Tesla, they pivoted to serve AI companies as generative AI began to take off. Their revenue has skyrocketed, growing from $100 million in 2021 to $760 million in 2023. By 2025, they expect to reach $2 billion in revenue, an eightfold increase in just 3 years. This makes them somewhat like NVIDIA in the AI ecosystem. They're the ones providing the tools, in this case the data, to make other AI companies' products work. However, Scale AI has also faced significant controversies. They've been criticized for running a digital sweatshop due to their reliance on a large outsourced workforce for data labeling. They employ around 240,000 contractors, compared to just 900 full-time employees. These contractors are often in low-wage regions like Southeast Asia and Africa, and they're paid very little for their work. Some workers have reported being paid as little as 30 cents for 4 hours of work, which is far below the minimum wage. Many of the workers are also exposed to disturbing content like graphic violence or self-harm, which adds to the physical toll of the job. Some of these workers are also subjected to long hours and low pay, with little to no benefits. This has led to ongoing legal challenges, including class action lawsuits from contractors in 2024. Scale AI has been criticized for exploiting these low-wage workers, even though they play a critical role in the company's success. Despite this, they found ways to maintain quality control and speed by implementing rigorous measures for data labeling, such as screening new contractors, offering training, and using automated tools to streamline their processes. However, the issue of worker exploitation continues to be a significant part of the contention. While the company has attempted to improve its working conditions by increasing wages for some workers and offering better incentives, the broader concerns about fairness and transparency persist. In response to these criticisms, Scale AI has made some attempts to address the issue. For instance, they started introducing mental health support programs for the contractors, knowing that the nature of work can be psychologically demanding. Still, these efforts haven't been enough to fully quell the backlash. The company has faced several lawsuits from workers who claim they were not properly compensated for the work, or that the conditions they were subjected to were unsafe and unethical. Despite these controversies, Scale AI's success is undeniable. As the demand for high-quality training data grows in the AI industry, companies like Scale AI are positioned at the heart of the AI ecosystem. They're essentially building the data that powers the next generation of AI models, whether it's for generative AI, autonomous vehicles, or any other application. Meta's investment in Scale AI highlights the growing importance of such companies as we move farther into an AI-driven future. Mark Zuckerberg and Meta are clearly betting that AI will be central to their future strategy, not just in terms of social media, but across all of their platforms. By acquiring a 49% stake in Scale AI, Meta is securing access to the cutting-edge data labeling and cleaning technology that is essential for developing more advanced AI models. One thing that is worth noting is that the future of AI in the workplace is going to be shaped by partnerships like this one between Meta and Scale AI. As we move towards more automated systems, the demand for data workers like those in data labeling is likely to increase. However, the ethical concerns surrounding the treatment must be addressed as part of this broader AI revolution. If companies continue to exploit workers in this way, it could lead to more social and legal challenges that will ultimately harm their long-term growth. The move by Meta can also be seen as a strategic attempt to differentiate themselves in the increasingly crowded AI market. While they face some setbacks in their own AI models, By investing in a company that already has a strong foundation in data management, Meta is positioning itself to potentially leapfrog competitors in certain areas of AI development. This deal not only strengthens their internal capabilities, but also gives them a competitive edge in attracting top-tier talent, which is critical to the success in the AI space. In conclusion, this deal between Meta and Scale AI is a clear indication that the AI race is heating up, and it's not just about the development of algorithms or models anymore. It's about securing the infrastructure, the data, the talent, and the tools that will support AI's growth for years to come. While there are still significant ethical and operational challenges to navigate, the future of AI will increasingly depend on collaborations like this one, which blend cutting-edge technology with human labor. It will be fascinating to see how the industry evolves and how Meta's strategic moves will shape the future of AI. Thank you for listening.